crime in society. This is completely wrong. Mass incarceration was developed as a social control, basically a system to deal with the contradictions of capitalism in a period in which the progressive movements were.
He just said it. The only reason that people are in prison is because of capitalism. And because capitalism puts people in prison, we need to abolish the entire carceral system. Now, listen, I don't think the police are good. I think the police are an organized gang. And so on this, I actually align with some of them. But I don't have the same reason for believing that the police are an organized gang as these people do. I just want you to hear them say this again. Capitalism created crime, and therefore we should abolish the prison system and defund the police in order to accommodate the oppression that capitalism has wrought.
Statistic of crime statistics, and that indicates sort of the level of crime in society. This is completely wrong. Mass incarceration was developed as a social control, basically a system to deal with the contradictions of capitalism in a period in which the progressive movements were being pushed back in the 1970s, in which the cities were being hollowed out with deindustrialization.
The title of the book they're talking about is called Socialist Reconstruction. It's the name of the presentation, and it's available on the website of the PSL. You can go to liberationschool.org if you want to buy it and read it. You'd have to engage in capitalism to buy it and read it, but that's beside the point.
Regulation in which the most progressive and vanguard forces in the Black community, the revolutionary organizations, were being destroyed. This was all a conscious idea to basically intimidate and lock up the communities that were most prone to rebellion and revolution created. So we talk about the complete dismantling of this mass incarceration system. And we actually go back to this question of abolition. We want to abolish and destroy the social conditions that give rise to crime. And we want to completely abolish the police as we know them, which have been only set up as basically the managers for private property.
Oh! So there were a couple things he just said. Number one, they believe that if they institute a socialist society, they will abolish all of the things that cause crime in the first place. So they believe that the capitalist society is creating the conditions that lead to people committing crimes in the first place. And if they take capitalism away and replace it with socialism, then they're just going to get rid of the conditions that cause crime in the first place. But even more than that, they believe that the police are the managers of private property. This is why they teach that the origin of the police was in regards to like the people who would catch the runaway slaves, because slaves were considered to be private property. That's why whiteness means capitalism. Capitalism created slavery. Slavery created systemic racism. Therefore, whiteness means capitalism. And they believe that the police were the managers of the private property because they were the ones responsible for capturing the runaway slaves, which was private property, and they believe that transfers into today's world. Does everyone understand that? Let's listen to that again.
So we talk about the complete dismantling of this mass incarceration system. And we actually go back to this question of abolition. We want to abolish and destroy the social conditions that give rise to crime. And we want to completely abolish the police as we know them, which have been only set up as basically the managers for private property.
Ding, ding, ding. The police are set up as the managers of private property.